It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping, together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. People, we will go all in, our hands up in the sky, celebrate and come let your rhythm flow. Flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm come let your rhythm flow.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Need to get your goods to St. Kitts and Nevis? Look no further. TDC Shipping has you covered with reliable cargo solutions by land, air, and sea. Whether it's a package from across the world or a large shipment of goods, TDC Shipping makes it easy, affordable, and stress-free. And with our airbox service, ordering from your favorite online stores just got even easier. Ship straight to your mailbox and let TDC Shipping handle the rest. Fast, secure, and even to your door. Visit us today at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Park or Penny's Industrial Site, or call 465-2511 in St. Kitts or 469-5430 in Nevis. TDC Shipping, where reliable service meets unbeatable convenience. TDC, together we succeed.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And a pleasant good day to you and yours. Welcome to another presentation of Island Tea for today, the 18th of June 2025. Today I'm going to be on my lonesome as Hortensia has other duties elsewhere. So I'll be keeping you company today. And as per usual, when I'm on my lonesome, I start with usually two different issues. One, Haiti, right in our proximity, and the other, the Bible. And let me again say welcome to those of you who are in tune, who are up and about and in good stead. If you are in good health, then give thanks to the Almighty for allowing you to be in such a stead. If you are not in the best of health, a bit under the weather, then pray and hope that you will be back to normal sooner rather than later. Without any ado, I'm going to get into first the clip synopsis history on Haiti. The second, how the Bible was put together and why were certain books left out. And after that, I'm going to open the lines. I will then give you the numbers you can call. And if there's anything of relevance that you feel should be brought to the fore, well, give it a go. And for those of you who might have something in relation to what's happening in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, feel free to do so. Now, without further delay, we're going to get into the first clip, and this is to do with a synopsis history of Haiti.
They did not just sit down and let themselves be taken away. They fought. They fought all the way to the boat. They fought on the boat. They killed themselves throughout the trip. They killed themselves as they get off the boat, or killed whoever was tying them up. So the fight began the day the aggression, the kidnapping, the slave mentality began to capture people.
One country, one black country, coming out of slavery or colonization that actually had what you call independence, you will not find two examples. Okay? If we take a little look at the constitution of this country, the first constitution, the only valid constitution, Constitution of 1805, states clearly this land is the land for all black folks. States clearly any black person landing here becomes automatically free and a citizen. States clearly no white man has the right to buy property here or walk as master on this land. Clearly. So, tell me, here we are. I'm a slave master. You're my slaves. I spent 100 years beating up on you, your grandmama, your great-grandmama, making you work for nothing for me. Centuries after centuries. And then one day independence must come. I said, okay, fine, let's have independence. Let's sit down and talk about it. Here's how your independence gonna go, okay? Let me tell you. Independence is signed. We all happy. We shake hands. How sweet. All the land that I took from your family remains my land, of course. And now you out in the streets begging. You know what I'm gonna say? Look at this bum. What is wrong with him? These black folks can't do nothing for themselves. Here we am begging, always begging. And we are so stupid. We won't even say, yeah, I'm begging because you stole my land. I'm begging because you killed my mother. I'm begging because you slaughtered my grandmother. I'm begging because you raped my sisters. That's why I'm begging. We're going to say, no, white man, you gotta help us. Yeah, we're really in bad shape. But remember, Haiti is nothing but an example. It's nothing. Whatever we say about Haiti, we could say it about Zaire, we could say it about Nigeria, we could say it about Togo, we could say it about Ghana, we could say it about Guinea, we could say it all over wherever our people are. Because you know how to speak, don't make of you a politician. You need to know how to dance in mud and in feces to be a good politician. I'm not. So identify who you are. Hold on to it. Every day, go back in. Look for more of your strength. Learn how to use it better. Sharpen your skills of knowing and loving self. And our our nation will be safe. Great government is made by people who know who they are. Bad government is not a bad somebody, Mobutu is guilty, this one is guilty. No! The nonsense that goes on in our countries goes on because none of us know who we are. None of the leaders know who they are. And that's why we must make it our business. If we say we're serious about growing.
And that is today's clip on Haiti. And let's rehash some of the words that the professor said. A people is defined by the leaders of a people are defined by the people who know themselves. And she further stated, we are where we are because we lack the knowledge of self. She also said before that to be a politician, you must be able to dance in mud and feces. And I've been saying that recently over and over again. To be a politician is not an easy, smiling, casual thing. If you venture to jump into the ring as a politician, then you must have broad back, thick skin. You venture to take the initiative to be a leader, then you must have the resolve. You must have the personality, the physical and mental fortitude to jump in the ring, jump into the mud, or wade through the feces. She also said that Haiti is just an example. Now, we tend to look at Haiti in retrospect. We tend to look at Haiti as what happened then. And when we see Haiti in its present state and form, I've heard certain individuals say, well, they are to blame because they need you. How long can you blame anyone else and not blame self? And they try to give examples of other places. I will tell you, as she said, if you were to look at the whole picture, the overall picture in our proximity and even around the world of a place getting independence, the way Haiti got independence and the things that Haiti had to go through, you would realize you will not find two examples. Haiti stands on its own. If you look back at what happened to Haiti, after Haiti got independence, are you aware that the rest of the world, the entire world, fought Haiti for 13 years? 13 years of isolation. Let me repeat that again. 13 years. When we, for instance, recently we've been having some problems with the trade embargoes that the U.S. president has imposed, and it's just been a matter of months. And you've seen in the United States, businesses are declaring bankruptcy. Here in the Caribbean, people are complaining. We're feeling the effects in a matter of months. We have not been cut off from supplies coming to us. We've not been cut off from medicine and everything, isolated away from the world. Someone used the example of Cuba. Yes, Cuba had its own strife and uprising and struggle for its autonomy, but Cuba was never completely cut off the way Haiti was. Cuba had allies in China, in Russia, and a few other places. But back when Haiti got its independence, she had no allies, none whatsoever. France, Britain, the United States, Belgium, Germany, name them. Everyone fought and stood against. Just imagine that little island in the Caribbean, isolated from the rest of the world. And what do you expect would happen? You know what happened? What happened is that when you are isolated, away from anyone and anything else, you turn on yourselves. You turn on each other. Survival is the name of the game. I saw a movie some time ago where some individuals were heading from one point to another for a game, and the plane traveled over these icy mountain regions, and unfortunately it crashed. This was such an isolated place that it took a long time for people to get to them. If I remember clearly, it was weeks before people realized where they were. And you know what those individuals did to survive? They had to go and find the bodies scattered around the terrain where the plane had crashed, strip the flesh into strips like bacon, and eat the flesh. Some of them, when they were rescued, they reminisce and they said, I would have never thought I would have done that. But there came a point where the brain kicked in and the survival mode kicks in. So that is what happened to Haiti. After 13 years of being threatened and isolated, the people turned on each other. And it has been happening from then till now. You know why it has been happening? Because the rest of the world didn't want and don't want, even today when they speak all this rhetoric, they don't really want to see Haiti the way it should be. Because they are benefiting from it. Someone called in some time ago and spoke to the fact that when Bill Clinton was there, he pushed the Haitian people. They had a source of rice that they were living on, that they produced, they grew and consumed, and he pushed them to get rid of that rice and imposed a mediocre rice upon them. This is what is being done. There's a part around Haiti where there's this island, and it is filled with bird droppings. And the bird dropping is like gold. You research and you'll find out. It is like gold. People are scrambling to get those bird droppings because it is in a mass quantity. And so everybody wants something from a people who has nothing. And then we say, oh, well, look, just as you see what's happening up there in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, I must say, because that is not a Middle East. Anytime you hear the phrase or term Middle East, it is in Africa. But they choose not to call it Africa because they want it to be isolated, and they want to brainwash you into believing it is another part of the continent exempt from the continent of Africa. These are the things they have been doing to us over time. And you want to tell me in this enlightened age we're still falling for that nonsense? So as I was saying, just the same way how right now Israel is bombarding and threatening to kill the Iranian supreme leader with the backing of the rest of the world, whether they want to say it or not, because they're doing nothing. And there's a saying, silence is consent. But the United States is supplying them with arms and so forth. So where you think this place, Haiti, the one thing that Haiti has, it doesn't have development, it doesn't have proper schooling, proper education, proper food, proper nothing, proper resources, but the one thing they seem to always have is guns. And you don't ask yourself why? You don't ask yourself who is making sure they have guns? Who is ensuring that they keep themselves in a position of suppressing each other, internal strife and that kind of who? So, I'm going to take a bit of a commercial break, and when I get back, I'm going to play a clip related to the Bible and how the Bible was put together and how and why certain books were left out of the putting together of the Bible by human beings, by men and women, mainly men, who put the Bible, who decided what was to go here and what was to, and why it was to go here and why this would be exempt. And these are things you've got to come to grip with. You've been using a book for over 400 years, and you don't even know the history of the book you've been using. you have this blind faith and you accept this book. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a faith in a creator. I believe in a creator, even though many of you might beg to differ because you feel when you say the creator, it is God of the Bible. I don't adhere to that philosophy, but I believe in a creator. I look around me, I see the forces, I see the sky, I delve into the universe because I have studied the stars and things like quantum physics I delve into and so forth. So I'd be a fool not to think that there's a superior being. But you foolishly, because you have been like Haiti, put in a state of desperation and want and need, and you're looking to survive because that is the key. Survival, you are in survival mode, and to survive, you grasp at something. There's the old saying, a drowning person grasps at a straw. Perhaps you're grasping at a straw because they give you this book, they tell you to believe in it, have blind faith in it, and for 400 years you've used this book, and for 400 years you're in oppression. After 400 years, we're still struggling for real autonomy, and you're telling me this book is your savior? Come on, man, get real. I am not saying you don't have faith in something, but know what you have faith in. Do you know that for the 400 years in the early stages of colonialism, they gave the slaves a different Bible? A Bible that was worded such that the slave felt that he was inferior? A Bible that put emphasis on things like slave, obey your master, and so forth. And the part that showed that all were equal in the sight of God, they exempt them from the Bible. Do you know that? No, you don't. Because because you struggle in life, you might need a job, or you're sick, you have an ailment, and you turn to a source for help and strength. That there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure the source that you turn for health and strength and for your upliftment and further advancement is not the very same source that is going to oppress you. Let me take that bit of a commercial break and I'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
On Sunday, June 29th from 4 p.m., Caramola Beach Club transports you to Destination France for White Sands Parisian Soiree! Featuring the White Swimsuit Competition. Spitmasters DJ Smudge and DJ Terra out of St. Kitts and Nevis. DJ MJ of Dominica. Travis World and Loves out of Trinidad. And Bishop Escobar of Jamaica. Captivating performances by Sugar City's very own Lucas H.E. and David House and Mr. Mention. Appearing for the first time in St. Kitts, Dancehall Auntie Jamaica. Performing his biggest hits, Jamaican dancehall sensation. And bringing the energy from Trinidad, Miguel Tasia. White Sands will be hosted by top DJ and radio personality Sweet Sister Sensia and Jamaican radio host CJ Spark. Tickets are just $120. Pay $150 at the door. For online tickets, visit CaramolaBeachClub.com. It's a French affair on Sunday, June 29th at Caramola Beach Club for the summer's hottest all-white party. White Sands Parisian Soiree.
Campari, Red Passion, embrace the mix.
Campari, Red Passion, full action, this is Red Passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist. Add your chaser in your drink. Campari, Red Passion, make the nicest mix. Campari!
Campari, Red Passion, embrace the mix. Must be 18 years or older to drink, drink responsibly.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It's
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And I'm back with you. The time is approximately 28 minutes moving away from the 8 o'clock hour. You're listening to Island Tea on my lonesome today, as Hortensia is otherwise occupied. She should be back in with you and with us tomorrow. The Almighty Creator is sparing our lives. And note I say the Almighty Creator because I do believe there is some creative force that governs the universe, that has created the things that exist within the universe, including human beings. My problem is that I don't know who that force is. I believe that force exists, but I don't know who or what that force is. But I feel, I see around me forces that represent such a force. I have not taken it upon myself to define who that force is. I will not come and tell you I have a personal relationship with that force, as many preachers come and tell you. They have a personal relationship with God. They see God, they speak with God, they walk with God. I'm not going to tell you that. I have a relationship with a force that exists, that I know has helped me from since I was brought into this world to this stage. But I don't know who that force is. I would like to think that perhaps if there's another dimension after this one, and I am fortunate to go there, that I might be in a better position to understand and comprehend who or what that force is. It seems to me, however, that in this realm, in this physical state and form, it may be an impossibility for me or any of us to know who that force is. That is my premise. That is my belief. But there are those who will see me and say, he is an atheist. He does not believe in God. Well, I don't believe in the God of the Bible, but I believe in a creator. So, let's get into that clip relating to the Bible.
1,000 years before and after Jesus, a small collection of writings found their way into the sacred scriptures of Jews and Christians. To this day, this small library of ancient writings is accepted by many as the Word of God. But there were hundreds of religious writings considered important at the time that were left out of the Holy Bible. What is contained in these rejected books, and why were they left out? Were some writings thought too fanciful? Perhaps these excluded or banned books were simply deemed unworthy for inclusion in sacred scripture.
There is a collection of books that we would say are literally forbidden.
The Book of Enoch offers a disturbing vision of the fall of the angels who lust after earthly women.
And they began to go into them and to defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms and enchantments. And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants whose height was 3,000 ells. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind.
That these angels have crossed over this boundary that they shouldn't have. They were spiritual beings and they were to remain as such. When they decided to descend upon earth, this unleashed upon the earth all sorts of problems. Not only these giants who are bloodthirsty and violent, but also these angels went on to teach humankind a variety of forbidden crafts. They also taught human beings how to make weapons of war.
Now, the good angels, the ones not tempted by these beautiful women, go to God and say, you know, there's a lot of bloodshed caused by these bad angels.
To release them from the depths of the earth, the request for clemency is denied.
This version of the fall of the angels was very popular in its day and maintained popularity for centuries to come. When we look at Dante's work on the Inferno, it's largely out of the material.
Who becomes Enoch's guide through the heavenly realms.
Uriel's name, in fact, means God is my light. And whenever he is described, frequently in relation to God, he is situated to the east. This is very interesting, of course. The sun. This gets us thinking. Uriel, a figure associated with the sun, or the stars, or the idea of these heavenly bodies.
And all these Uriel, the leader of them all, showed to me, and their positions, and I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me.
And so something is going on here with the stars. It may well be going back to the role of astrology and the study of stars in the Persian Empire that is now giving rise to this new awareness that constellations aren't just constellations of stars, they're constellations of astrology and the study of stars in the Persian Empire that is now giving rise to this new awareness.
Writings of Enoch to be authoritative. Revelation from God. So, because some people thought that, some influential people thought that, the book was used as you would use other books of the Bible.
Enoch was just considered a little too strange, a little too suspicious, a little too creative, perhaps, for the tradition. Having said that, there's no doubt that it was widely read and very popular.
Yet the Book of Enoch was denied a home in the official Christian canon. This imaginative tale fell into obscurity until the late 18th century, when a Scottish explorer named James Bruce came upon this mysterious text in Aksum, a city in the Ethiopian highlands.
There is a collection of books that we would say are literally forbidden.
And there you had it, the Book of Enoch. Why was it exempted? Why was it left out of the Bible? Well, I can tell you my own concept of why it was left out. One of the main reasons it was left out was because, as one of the narrators said, it was too strange. It was, at that time, Europe and Europeans and the Caucasians were not ready for or could not comprehend or grasp what was being represented in the Book of Enoch, where Enoch spoke of traveling into the heavens, seeing spacecrafts and all these kind of stuff. At that time, the church felt it was heresy. It was blasphemy. They felt, you crazy, flying in the air and going up into the sky so far that you can actually see the curvature of the earth? Nah, that's craziness. Are you aware that the church for hundreds of years suppressed advancement? If not for the church, the European church, the Christian church, the Christian belief, mankind could have been ahead of where we are today. But the church retarded and discouraged a lot of the teachings that were advancing medicine and astrology and industry at the time. Over time, they became better enlightened and they used it to their advantage. But back then, they felt it was crazy. So like I said before, and I repeat, do not let, because we are struggling as a people and you have a physical, you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, you have cancer and you're going to die, and you look for a higher force to help you because, you know, as far as you're concerned, you know, you've reached that point where humanity can't help you. You're a stage 4, stage 5 cancer patient. And so you turn to a higher being. Nothing is wrong with that. I'm saying when you turn to a source for solace, make sure that the source is to your benefit, not to your detriment. Don't be so desperate that you grasp something that further suppresses you. I'm going to take a bit of commercial break, and when I get back, I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to, before I do that, repeat the numbers or state the numbers. When I get back, I'll repeat them. The numbers you can call are 466-0989, 662-0989, 762-0989. In the UK, 033-344-0065. In the US of A, 718-285-6984. In Canada, 305-921-4619. Bear in mind that all the numbers I gave you, I'm not sure if they are all working, but if you try one and it doesn't work, then feel free to try another. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of a commercial break, and when I get back, you can give me a call, speak on anything you want to, whether it be local, international, regional, whatever.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join Azar Gums, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on WinFM. Join Azar Gums as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. Azar Gums through the fact. Sunday 8.9.
What makes a hero? Someone who makes a difference in their community. Someone who has performed an extraordinary act of bravery or kindness. Someone who touches lives without recognition. Does this sound like someone you know? Through the CIBC Caribbean Unsung Heroes program, you can nominate your unsung hero for recognition. Nominations should be in one of two categories: outstanding work in the community and act of heroism. Send nominations to unsung heroes at CIBCFCIB.com on or before July 31st, 2025.
On Sunday, June 29th from 4 p.m., Caramel Beach Club transports you to Destination France for White Sands Parisian Soiree, featuring the white swimsuit competition. Spitmasters DJ Smudge and DJ Terra out of St. Kitts and Nevis, DJ MJ of Dominica, Jarvis World and Loves out of Trinidad, and Bishop Escobar of Jamaica. Captivating performances by Sugar City's very own Lucas H.E. and David House and Mr. Mention. Appearing for the first time in St. Kitts, dance on IT's Jamaica. Performing his biggest hits, Jamaican dancehall sensation, and bringing the energy from Trinidad, Miguel Tasia. White Sands will be hosted by top DJ and radio personality Sweet Sister Sensia and Jamaican radio host CJ Spark. Tickets are just $120. Pay $150 at the door. For online tickets, visit Carabola-Beach-Club.com. It's a French affair on Sunday, June 29th at Carambola Beach Club for the summer's hottest all-white party. White Sands Parisian Soiree.
Campari. Red Passion. Embrace the mix.
Campari Red Passion, full action, this is Red Passion. Embrace the mix, add Campari, make it turn and twist. Add your chaser in your drink. Campari Red Passion, make the nicest mix. Campari!
Campari Red Passion. Embrace the mix. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping. Come let your rhythm
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And I'm back with you again. The time is approximately 8:44. You're listening to Island Tea with myself, moi, and keeping your company up until 10, I think. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, yeah. Up until 10. At around that time, we'll make a breakaway for voices. Let me give you those numbers again, the numbers you can call, and you can speak on any issue. And these are the times when I test the individuals who will have a tendency to say they can't get in, they would like to say something, but the lines are tied up, and yet still when the lines are not tied up, you don't see or hear from them. But then when the usual individuals who they can't get in, they would like to say something, but the lines are tied up, and yet still when the lines are not tied up, you don't see or hear from them. And in Canada, 305-921-4619. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing very well. I'd like to ask you a question. In all your wisdom, explain salt to me.
I cannot.
Why is that?
Because you've never tasted it.
But why? Why can't you explain it?
Well, I can tell you, like you just stated, I can tell you from my perspective that I tasted it, and it is very pungent, it is very acidic, but even no matter how much I explain it to you, you will not comprehend it unless you experience it for yourself. It is like the old saying that a burnt child dreads a fire.
So how can you explain to me if I do not accept, based on from your pulpit that you were just speaking from, you believe that there's a supreme being out there? You stated that,
yes,
correctly?
Yes.
And so how can you persuade me to accept that?
I am not trying to persuade you. I am simply giving you...
No. My question was, how can you? I don't want your excuse. I want you to tell me
I am not giving an excuse. Let's not be confrontational. I am not giving an excuse.
But
I am telling you...
Give me... Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Try to explain to me a supreme being that you just stated you believe that there is.
I've said on a different program, and I will reiterate for your enlightenment, that someone called me and asked me if I remember when I was young, and I destroyed all of my 45s and then regretted it later. And I remember it, and I said, yes, I remember that. And I said, like anyone else, I've been through the things that you've been through. I, like anyone else, have searched for solace, have searched for answers, have leaned on different faiths and beliefs at different times. There was a time when I was younger, growing up in the church, when I tried my best and accept the redemption, thinking, well, I'm going to pass into the great... I, as a humble, realistic human being, say to you, I believe in a force, but I don't know what it is. I know it exists because it affects me.
You said yes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you just went on a rampage and called people who follow Christ foolish and different names and different things.
Did I say... Caller.
Yes,
I'm recording what I'm saying here. I never said anyone was foolish.
Well, you may not have said foolish, but you spoke around the rim.
No, caller. Look, you seem to be a very intelligent person, and
I thank you for that.
And I would like you to likewise consider me also an intelligent person. So since we're
and I do. That's the reason why I'm trying to engage you in conversation.
Yes.
Sometimes we may not use the words that I just said, but you use words that that go around that sound similar because we are following something, and because I consider myself to be a believer in Christ.
Yes.
So I am listening to you very carefully from a perspective of someone who has a pulpit, who can say what they want to say and go about it. So that's the reason why I took the time out to call you based on your conversation you had a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Again, you may not have said foolish, but it's similar to what I heard from you. So that's why I said the word foolish.
Okay, so give me, from your perspective,
you must not just go with it foolishly, or you may not just go with it just because someone said this is the way you should go.
Yes.
Does that sum that up?
Yes.
This
Yes.
is the way you should go.
Yes.
Does that sum that up?
Yes. You're
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Sorry.
So I said, do not go about it foolishly, or do not just take it because someone else said it. But nowhere in there did I say that you were foolish.
Well, I am foolish because I am following what someone say. I mean, we can't mince words. I am foolish by taking someone's advice to follow something. Can we agree on that?
You're foolish not because you took someone's advice to follow something. You're foolish if you take someone's advice to follow something without understanding or trying to understand it as you are a part of it. It then means that you are simply a follower. You have no conviction.
So we agree. So we can agree on that.
No, we cannot agree, because I have not said that the people who have followed it are foolish.
Okay. So I'll go from that word then. Let's move on. If it's okay with you.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, one, you could not explain to me what salt is because I've never tasted salt. And two, you have faith in a supreme being higher than yourself. Can we agree on that? That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So with those two things, you said last week that when Greg was trying to communicate with you, that you were so angry that you did not want to engage that conversation at this time. Is that correct?
I did not use the word angry. I used the word, I said to him, you see, I have a very good memory.
I'm sorry. It's been last week, so if I used the wrong word, I apologize.
I said to him, because, and Greg can back that up for himself, because I'm sure that he might be listening. I said to him, I'm in an emotional state, and because in this, yes, and because I'm in this state of passion, yes, that is what I said.
Yes,
I did not. Yes.
I apologize for that. That's exactly what you said.
Yes.
So, and because of that, you were not in a place to continue that conversation.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So far, what we have come away with from you is that you're a faith person.
Yes.
You believe in a higher being.
Yes.
How did you come to this conclusion of a higher being?
Because I look at myself, and I have 5 children. I'm going to use this as an example. And as a youth, I was very rebellious, a juvenile delinquent. Recently, my mother passed, and we went to...
I'm sorry to hear that.
We went to the funeral, and I had in the front, Papa, who was always on my case, who have a soul, but I am not in full control of it. So being understand that I'm a mere mortal. And there's something...
I know how you feel about the Bible, but I came across a scripture in the Bible. It's in Proverbs 3:5. It said, just like what you're talking about, and you should really read that. You should really engage yourself in that one verse, Proverbs 3:5. It said, "Lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord." Because once you begin to information, for knowledge, for all these things, then you become almost out there on your own, and you're doing these things without any guidance. But the Lord is saying, lean not on your understanding, because all you have is your life understanding, but you have lived what you have, the time that you have, and you lean on all those things to come to a conclusion. But the Lord is saying, why don't you try me, which you did, because I based on what you just said, you are seeking not only your own, but you're seeking to understand life from a higher perspective. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, but unfortunately, we have a next program and the guests are here. But what I would ask you to do is at another time when I'm here on my own. Don't do it when I'm with Cartencia, because usually when she's here, she controls and I follow. But when I'm here, then I set all the parameters, and we can re-engage in this conversation. Is that okay with you?
That will be fine. Can I give you my name?
Yes.
Aubrey.
Aubrey?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My name is Patrick. My name is Patrick. Yes. Patrick Queely.
Okay. Nice speaking with you, young man. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.
Same to you. So we're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and when we return, we'll have some guests in studio. Okay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Running a business? Closing deals, keeping the books, covering team lunches. That's work. But getting rewarded for it, now, that's a trip. With a new JetBlue Business Card by CIBC Caribbean, every expense moves you forward. Earn 30,000 TrueBlue points after your first purchase, plus perks like a free checked bag, priority boarding, and more. Make your business a trip with a new JetBlue Business Card by CIBC Caribbean. Apply today at www.cibccaribbean.com/JetBlue.
Get ready to stretch your way into the ultimate festival experience. The Sickest Music Festival is calling, and so are some serious prizes. Spend $25 or more on any scratch tickets to win a season pass and a night stay at Park Hyatt, a season pass and a night stay at Sickest Marriott Resort, and a season pass and a White Sands ticket. That's right, spend $25 or more on any scratch tickets to win. Available at all Caribbean lottery retailers island-wide. You must be 21 and over to play.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are. 'Cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Kids and neighbors, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel. Activate a 3-day plan or higher. Pay your bill in full. Sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we're back with you. The time is approximately 6 minutes moving away from the 9 o'clock hour. And I've got with me two guests. They are associated with the St. Kitts Farmers Consortium, and they will take it from here, introduce themselves, and speak on whatever issue they would like to. Good day.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, all.
Yes.
Another Wednesday, another farm report. Troy Flanders, been away for a while. And in the studio with me is Kyle Flanders. And Mr. Flanders has been doing the program for a couple of weeks, and he's been doing a very good job. So, Mr. Flanders, good.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Radio Land. It's a pleasure being back here today on Farm Report. As the host said, we are members of the Farmers Consortium, and we're just here to speak about some of the things that I alluded to in previous weeks. Like, for example, I'm going to just get right into it. Like, for example, last week we were speaking about MOUs and the government wanting to have farmers sign MOUs for various reasons. And what I want to start off by saying before anything else is that persons who are listening, I know they might say, okay, they might be bashing the government and they're focusing on the government, but this is only so because the government has put themselves as the key, the focal point in the agricultural sector. I remember I made a presentation recently saying that they have nationalized the agricultural sector, so the government is the one who holds all of the keys for inputs, for supplies, for the very land that we're producing on. So if we are to direct any dissent, it's towards the government because they are the key person in charge of the sector. Most farmers cannot do anything on the, we still have to go through the government. You want concession? Government. You want inputs? Government. You want service? Government. So that's how they have set up the system in a way that the farmers have to depend on the government to that degree. And that's something the consortium is trying to change. We want that the government just build the scaffolding, build the framework, and we as farmers work within that framework. And so I spoke about a meeting that the department, the ministry, wanted to have with the farmers pertaining to implementing a fee when the farmers using the packing house at the Department of Agriculture. And Troy was able to go to that meeting and discuss, and he will be able to discuss what was said, what was done, the nature of the meeting, how it ended up, and so forth. All right, so I'll just turn it over to Troy and I'll just ask him a few questions pertaining to the meeting, and we'll go from there. All right, so how was the meeting? What was the atmosphere at the end?
Mr. Flanders. First, before I go into that, available at the marketing unit today, you have watermelons, cantaloupe, seasoned pepper, and pumpkins. Bell pepper also available at the marketing unit, Department of Agriculture. So as you speak about the meeting, Flanders, I was a bit late to that meeting, so I might have missed certain things. But what I gathered from that meeting is that farmers leave that meeting worse off than they enter that meeting. Right? That's what I got from that meeting. It was a meeting that I thought was a disrespect to the farming community. You know, you call the farmers out to a meeting to discuss a document, but yet, and to this day, 1 week later, you're yet to see that document. No farmer have ever seen what the document is all about. But they bring you into a meeting and like they're lecturing you as if you're some schoolboy or something. And what I take away is a insult and the intelligence of the farming community.
Okay, so who were the ones who hosted this meeting? I would assume it would be maybe the PS would have been there, or the director. Who hosted this meeting?
The meeting was called by the Department of Agriculture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were the one who went out and reached out to the farmers. So, but the facilitator at the head table, we had the marketing manager,
Okay.
and the crop program manager.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the two presenters at that meeting.
It's not even the director? No?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Them, just those two was at the head table. And as I was saying, it was an insult to the intelligence of the farming community.
Expound on that. Give us some more information as to why you felt that way, that calling that meeting and those who were in attendance. I mean, if
First, you call a meeting,
Mhm.
and those who were chairing the meeting didn't have the answer to no question that you could ask, right?
What's
I
the
mean,
point?
like you didn't expect farmers to ask questions, right? So you're gonna ask a question about the MOU,
Mhm.
and those who sit there can't answer nothing about it. Why you call the meeting? Absent from the meeting was the Director of Agriculture, the PS, or even the Minister.
Mhm.
And nobody who sits in authority higher than the marketing manager. Was here.
You see, the thing is with that, right, is that the ministry, the department, they have set this precedence where anything that is happening in agriculture must go through the minister and the PS. No other decision, no other levels can make any other decisions. So for them to put those two at the meeting is an insult indeed, because then we, as the community, know for a fact that they can't answer the questions. They can't solidify nothing. They cannot really make any decisions. They're just there to basically rubber stamp or whatever. They're not there to make any decisions. So for them to be the head at the meeting and the farmers asking questions, of course they can't answer the questions. Because one thing I learned before I left agriculture was that the PS, the minister, they're not about empowering the staff. They're not about delegating authority. They're about, we are the ones in charge, why we say go. And so to have those at the meeting, you could tell they were not serious about the meeting then.
I mean, to be honest, one farmer did say to the lady, I'm sorry, but no disrespect. I don't think you should be the one sitting up there. You understand?
And I could see why.
You will speak about implementing a 3% tax on the farmers.
Yeah.
Right? You can't explain what the thing is, and then for some reason you say it's for what you call it, administrative costs.
Oh wow.
Right? But then in the audience was a farmer who also had worked in the government system and tell them administrative costs already in the budget.
Yeah, because they're getting paid.
Right. So what you asking us to pay you for is what you're already being paid for.
Yeah, you double dipping.
Right? And not only that, when you're going to come tell me that, as a farmer, if I am not up to date with my my tax, like my
Land
lease, I will be unable to do business with the marketing units. So you ask the question, who are these people and whose behalf are they working?
Doesn't sound like the farmers at all. Now let me just expound on that further, because you will understand that the land situation at agriculture is such a mess right now. Nobody knows what's going on with the land situation. They stopped printing IDs. You don't have your farmer ID like that anymore. They wanted to basically quash all the leases and then start fresh. So the whole thing about hinging doing business with the marketing department on the lease, when you, the government, haven't even properly cleared out and formalized and make sure that the land is in order. However, those are just barriers put in place to make farmers' life harder. So 3% tax plus other costs plus time costs. So you basically building more barriers for farmers who are already struggling. So let me ask some questions then. So 3%, how did they come up with 3%? Like, is it a magic number?
I don't know who they had any conversation with, because I mean, the first time we hear about it is when they present it to us. I mean, you're having a policy change, but no discussion with the people who you're going to affect. You just come and tell them, well, this will be the policy going forward.
And no reason why. Again,
No
insult
discussion.
after insult.
But that goes to what the consortium always speak about, the top-down approach.
And wanting a voice in any policy decision-making process. We just wanted to say, okay, show us what we're talking about. We can lend our expertise. Because I'm telling you, some of the farmers, when you combine the experience, it's older than the minister age, older than the PS age, older than anybody age. Farmers have been in this thing for so long. So they have some kind of idea.
Let me interject, if I may. You said that they stopped releasing IDs. Now, you see this? You know what this is, right?
That's a farmer's ID from some time back.
From some time back.
Yeah.
And ever since I got this, before it expired, I've been trying to get a new one and can't get a new one.
Yeah.
Okay? And this, when you say that they're not if they don't do this, what are they doing to the farmers? Because without this, if you go to a place and you say, I'm a farmer, what are they doing to the farmers? Because without this, if you go to a place and you say, I'm a farmer, I've got X amount to produce, what do you have to prove that you're a farmer? What do you have to prove that you're a farmer? Sell it using IDs anymore. Now tell me, where is this of any proper effect to the farmers? When you do this, they're actually killing farming, you know. You're killing farming. You have a set of let me say this emphatically. As far as the system is concerned right now, there are no farmers. Yeah. Because if you don't have IDs, it's like you're driving on the road, a driver's license. Okay? If the driving authorities decide they're not going to issue driver's license, you don't have anybody on the road.
But
go ahead.
The point is such that there's a number of policy changes that the consortium presented to this administration, right? They hasn't taken up one, not one, right? We asked about a seat at the table, right? They refused to do that. We talk about revolving funds, so that funds could be available for farmers. They choose not to take up that. You talk about the duty-free concession, to revisit the duty-free concession. They haven't taken up that, right? As we speak, there are a large diesel tank sitting at Tabernacle Outreach that was supposed to go there so that farmers could have go there and get duty-free diesel. It's still sitting there after so much years. But now you come with a policy that no farmer asks you for, and you're pushing that up front, right? Nobody asks you if you could take out the money, right? But you come with that. So you choose the policy that you want to run with, and the policy that you're running with is making the farmer, is more detrimental to the farmer, putting the farmer at a worse, at more disadvantaged position.
For sure. So let me ask then. Okay, so they want to charge 3%. So let me ask a question here. Did the market open up? Did you get more greater access to the local market with the produce?
Good question, Carla. Our market share has not increased. So right there and then, we'll be getting less. Right? And another thing.
It's so hard for them to grasp this thing. Like, you're supposed to be in leadership. Some people say they're going to study agriculture. Why is it so hard to grasp that simple concept? That you look after your main stakeholders for the betterment of the country. And why is that so hard to understand?
Could you imagine, Mr. Flanders, that every farmer that take their produce to the marketing unit will be subjected to a 3% tax, right? You claim you have 600 farmers. Think about the numbers, right? If government want to tax things, they should have do that in the budget, you know. They should have implement that in the budget. This is mid-year now, and you're coming with a tax. And the farmers already been paying tax 17% VAT. So now you're going to put 3% on them now. So that's 20% for farmers. What have we done, this administration, to deserve the treatment that we are getting?
It's sad reality.
Especially considering the fact that, and as you stated, why is it so hard to understand that the only true independence is when you're food sufficient?
Right.
Yeah. Why is it so hard to understand that? We see what's happening around the world. Let's say the Almighty forbid that we have ships stop coming here. How are we going to sustain ourselves? Why is it so hard to understand that you want, in the case of world events and you get cut off, that you can eat and survive? Why is that so hard to understand?
Can you imagine, Mr. Flanders, you were in a meeting when the Prime Minister tell us farmers to make a case for the government to invest in agriculture?
Yeah, I remember the meeting.
Who make a case for Tabasco?
Not a soul. But yeah, there it is still.
$5 million you're spending on that.
5.5.
Well, that's not to be corrected.
But even to mention that meeting, which is so disappointing, right? Because you would think that the Prime Minister, who's a medical doctor, understands the link between food security and NCDs and all those kind of health diseases and stuff that you can suffer from. Why do we have to make the argument? It's there already. We know if we eat healthy food, multigrain food, single ingredient food, it is healthier for the country as a whole. They're going to save us so many costs. Because in recent times, the FAO published this book called Barriers for That. Why are you putting up barriers so that the marketing unit have hard time to get the food to the people? That don't make no sense. You're pricing it out, you're giving the farmers all kind of different, you have to make sure everything up to date, whatever. How does that help the farmers?
Well, not only that, if you look at the food import bill, right, you find that St. Kitts is importing 80+% of what we eat.
And it's going up.
You know, they had a little thing they call the 25 by 25.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, vaguely. He gone. He come and gone. He was brandished about for a long time, then all of a sudden, disappear.
Right. And we're in the year 2025. And if they will be honest with the people, you will see that the import bill, instead of come down 25%, it might have gone up maybe 30 or more.
Not right. I presented data showing that it has gone up for certain, especially the foods that they chose to focus on. It has gone up. Carrots up, imports up for carrots, imports up for peppers, imports up for all those things. It's up.
That's this question.
So why you want 3%? If your market ain't improving, why do you want 3%? Storage, has it improved? Because I remember you had dumping going on, so storage improved.
Well, not only that, they're asking you to sign something. Government has nothing to lose. Be it that your food spoiled there or not, they will not be responsible for it. Right? They have nothing to lose. Everything is on you, the farmer. Let's say that current gone. Your backup generator, if you have one, does not kick in. God forbid. You look, you see, you might got certain things, the cantaloupe and them things easily. They're gone in. And you, the farmer, is the one who will be responsible for that. It will be your loss. Right? And at the same time, they're asking you to sign away.
You have a caller.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning to you and the guests there in the studio and the listeners.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm cutting straight to the chase. When I sit and listen to you guys over all this time that I've been chiming in here, you guys are underground, and some may look at the chatter, the narrative as complaints, but me personally, I want to see some action, man. And we see that we are having a big problem understanding the concepts that you guys are putting out there. We are not going to be real independent unless we get self-sufficient in food. So you guys, I know at least I've heard that one you guys went away and one stayed on the ground. And Quint, is this another tag team?
Well, from the farmer's perspective, it is. And I must say that don't try to test this tag team because The blood runs thick.
Yes. And guess what, man? You two guys, man, I'm going to probably try my best to empower you two guys to try to get in the ring. I mean, how else are you guys going to make a difference in the Federation of Sinkers and Leavers? We are talking about you two guys. You are expert charge. I mean, we can't just we just talking, right?
You have to be brief.
This is Farm Report, Carla.
Okay.
I'm glad for your
no
call.
problem. No problem.
It's Farm Report.
Go ahead. Go ahead, farmers.
Okay.
Caller, sorry I had to cut you, but yeah.
It's okay.
Based on what you just said, right? When you water it down, when you distill it, right? You hear what I'm saying? That in times of good, when this stuff gets sold, they get 30% of your sales. But if things ain't go the farmers' way, they're safe, but the farmer suffering. Now, who in the world may going to sign that kind of document there? I understand if I sign it and you say, okay, we have ownership of your produce now, here's the money, this is ours now. It's up to us to get off. So if it's spoiled, it's on us. But you're telling me I must sign away 3%, but only when things good, it benefit both of us. But when it bad, I alone take the brunt of the hit. Like that can't be right.
Can't be right.
But I will say this, right? It's over a year. The consortium was asked to be quiet on certain things. Ceasefire, they say. And some people accusing us to abandon the cause, but we haven't abandoned the cause. They are still here, and it been, I must say, a very painful year, right? Looking at what's going on and hoping that it would have changed. Trying to work from behind the scene to bring about the change. Rather than to be in the air and fighting the administration, we choose to work from behind the scene and we get nothing in return. The administration refused to meet us. Not even quarter the way that we asked for it. Gives nothing, zero, nada, nothing. And expect us to lap our tail going forward and say nothing. The gloves are off.
They have definitely gotten too comfortable, because even before the so-called ceasefire, you realize that they used to have their own little show and issues. They run in and freedom every morning to try to preempt what we're saying. They were on the defensive all the time, but now they're a little too comfortable. Because nothing doing, but they're more comfortable now. Don't even want to entertain in the meeting. Now they're coming top down. Here, MOU, I assign that or else. Like, that's not what we're here for. We're here for a partnership. We're not here for any dictator. I mean, I guess they're going around in the world right now. Everybody want to be dictators now, right? But this is a democracy. Yeah. Are we going to fight for that democracy? We want to be a part of the discussion. We the people want to be a part of the discussion. Don't come trying to... Actually, I can't even say that because they didn't even present the document.
Right.
They didn't even present the document. How insulting is that?
You see, what we have here is, this is what the system has got to understand. This is no longer the day where you're dealing with people who are so desperate to farm, to make something, to get something to eat. They are ignorant of farming. You're dealing with people who have studied it, who have taken it seriously. For instance, you said in the meeting, a farmer who knew about how the bureaucracy goes could pose a question. This is what you're dealing with now. And if you're dealing with this, you cannot try to use old-fashioned things to see if you can stomp a farmer who knew about how the bureaucracy goes could pose a question. This is what you're dealing with now. And if you're dealing with this, you cannot try to use old-fashioned things to see if you can stomp on people. You're dealing with intelligent, modern-day people.
What course of action are you going to take? See, the man called a while ago and saying, talking ain't going to work. People got to be prepared to make sacrifices. Shut down the marketing department. If you are enabling something that is obstructing your own progress, what you do? You ain't stop. We making the thing, and we balling, but we still continue. Look, man.
Carla, if you don't mind, you was at that meeting, And you make some good points, right? We listen to you and we hear what you had to say. But the consortium will have their meeting with their membership, and we will move forward from there.
Some serious course of action has to be taken. People got to do things to show it can't just talk. If everybody begin to feel the effect in some way, then we see changes. But if we just talking,
so,
they ain't gonna do nothing.
So are you prepared to sign that document?
Hello?
Are you prepared to sign that document?
I in this thing here. Me ain't no outsider here, and me ain't got no second job.
That's a good point.
Okay. Bless up.
So did he answer the question?
Well, he did answer the question when he said he's in this thing and he ain't have no second job. He ain't not going to put himself at a disadvantage.
Okay, well,
a lot of those who are in authority, they have their farms, but that's not their main. That's not their main job. So they could afford to play with what going on.
Yeah.
And I will encourage all the farmers who hear my voice, right, to phone up on that document. I will encourage them not to sign that document. Let them come to us and let we formulate something coming from us, not they giving us something. So let them revamp that and come with something else.
And even before that, they must see tangible changes. We must see a change in the marketing department. You must have an improvement.
You must see a change in the sector.
Whether it is storage, whether it is the market access, whatever it is, we must see a change. Or you can't get our money if you're helping us.
I said the last, but I'm gonna entertain. This is the final call. We're 4 minutes over time. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Brother Chris.
Yes. Don't let it be caller. Don't
be brief.
No. Don't let it be political. This is Farmers Report, okay?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Go ahead.
I thought the voice I heard when I chime in was Nubian. So let me come off of the political side. I understand it is two farmers.
Yes.
Well, my brother, I embrace the farming sector very strongly. And if you have that contribution, if you have that attribute under your belt, I will empower you. Because the Federation needs sustainable food system. Because we cannot depend on everything from overseas. And if you two guys have that gift, and that's your calling, I empower you. But also to empower you, you have to try to make your move be sound and adapt. And for that reason, it's going to come political in all things that we are saying and doing. I will encourage you, in order to make that change, you have to jump in as a person where you can have a say for a decision to be grabbed. And for the reason, you all should enter as independent.
Okay, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
In wrapping up, Flanders.
All right, in just wrapping up.
Before you wrap up, you see, people have this wrong concept, and I what the callers are saying is, and I disagree with it, that you have to be in the political arena to get representation. I disagree with it. As a farmer, you should get representation as a farmer. You're paying your taxes, you're doing the things that you this is why we get leaders. Go ahead.
Okay, so just to piggyback off of that, I believe I agree with you. That's one reason I would not become a politician, because I feel as though I should be able to be a free thinker, and not pigeonhole myself into any one party or whatever like that. So that's not something I would do. But to wrap up, just understand that things need to change as how things are going right now. We had the momentum, we lost it, we had to get it back again. And I don't want the ministry or the department to rest on their laurels thinking that taking our silence for weakness. We're going to come out stronger than ever, because we're going to fight for what we believe in. We're going to fight for the rights of the agricultural sector, because food security is paramount to all of us here in St. Kitts. And understand that the SDGs, number 2, no hunger, that is our mandate. That is our, if anything should guide the ministry, it is that one. So we are still going to be, you're going to hear our voice agitating on behalf of the sector until things get better. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We cannot allow our farmers to fail. And as the consortium, we will not fail our members. And the wider farming body, those who are not members, will also represent you, because it's all about agriculture, food safety, and food security, right? Some people may see politics in everything, but they might be have point. Politics is in everything because it's about policy and changing the policies. That's what consortium is all about. We want to change the policies that it will benefit the farming community and not put us at a disadvantage. So before I leave, I will encourage the farmers out there to take a stand. Do not sign no document. Thank you.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Save your quarters and save your dollars. You could just protect.
Parents and guardians, it's time to secure your child's success. Enroll them in Aspire and unlock amazing benefits. $500 in cash savings, $500 in investment shares, and life-changing financial education to teach budgeting, saving, and investing. Don't wait. Sign up your child or ward for Aspire today and give them the tools to achieve greatness. Visit aspire.gov.kn for more information.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture, appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all. All at TDC, home and building depot. From lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos. All at TDC, home and building depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC, home and building depot.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Suppleton is giving away 3 unforgettable shopping sprees valued at $1,200 each. Just shop and win. Spend $12 or more on Suppleton products at your favorite supermarket. Write your name and contact on the back of the bill and place them into the Suppleton entry form boxes. Enter as many times as you like. Promotion runs from April 1st to May 31st. Suppleton boosts you up.
St. Kitts and Nevis, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And I'm back with you. The time approximately 9:43. We're winding down to the end of another stint. Like I stated before, I'm on my lonesome today, but Hortensia will be here tomorrow, and you will be hearing that sweet-sounding feminine voice as opposed to my gruff, masculine tone. Now, we just had the Farmer's Report, and I'm gonna play something that sort of hinges on it because it is to do with the Caribbean region getting unified. I think that our leaders in the entire region of the Caribbean need to be thinking in different veins as to how they have been thinking before. This is a new era. People's expectations are higher. The demands on you are going to be stronger and more adamant. And as leaders, you've got to prepare yourself to deal with the coming future and how it unfolds. Now, I say that to say that as a Caribbean region, we've been seeing too much done in isolation. We have been complaining about it for some time, and yet it still continues. What we want to see, what we need to see is that we know recently there was a CARICOM heads of government. What we want to see is that the Caribbean leaders find ways to live up to things like CARICOM and so forth, and let the people see that you are becoming unified. This doing business in isolation, St. Kitts and Nevis on its own, Antigua on its own, Dominica on its own, or saying that you are unified verbally, but we are not seeing it happen on the ground, seeing it implemented as we move forward in terms of how we import, how we export, shipping and freight and travel and all that kind of stuff. Our Caribbean leaders have got to get up and find ways. One of the things that our Caribbean leaders need to deal with quickly, sooner than later, is inter-island travel. How do we travel within the region without these big impediments and in an affordable manner? Having said that, I'm going to play this clip for you, and the clip asks the question, why are there no trade routes between the Caribbean and Africa? Why?
What's really stopping Africa and the Caribbean from building direct trade? Why hasn't this connection happened yet? It's not because there's no interest, it's not because there's no demand, and it's not because there's no need. The real problem is structural, it's political. And yes, it's historical. Let's break it down. Number one, there are no direct shipping or air routes. That's the most basic issue. If you want to send goods from Accra to Kingston or from Lagos to Bridgetown, guess where they go first? Through Europe, through Miami, through London. The same colonial trade routes that were designed centuries ago to move goods through imperial centers are still controlling how we trade today. Secondly, there are no trade agreements between the regions. As of now, Africa or the African Union and CARICOM don't have a formal free trade agreement. So if a Jamaican company wants to import cocoa from Ghana, or a Nigerian firm wants to export cassava flour to St. Lucia, they're paying steep tariffs, sometimes as high as 28%. That kind of friction kills deals before they even begin. And without legal frameworks or dispute resolution mechanisms, businesses simply don't want to take the risk. Thirdly, there is no market intelligence. Businesses on both sides have no idea what the other side is producing, importing, or needing. Ask a manufacturer in Kenya about export opportunities in Grenada, and they'll probably shrug. There's no data, no networks, no trade fairs, and no business missions. And my people, that's a great business opportunity for someone. Number four, colonial era trade habits still rule the day. Let's be honest, the systems we're using today were designed by empires, not for us, but for them. Goods from Africa went to Europe. Goods from the Caribbean went to Europe. No one thought about Africa and the Caribbean trading with each other, right? And that logic still shows up in everything today, from shipping routes to supply chain financing to what's stocked in the supermarket aisle. And unless it's challenged deliberately, it continues by default. And all of this feeds into a vicious cycle. Low trade means no routes. No routes mean high costs. And high costs mean even lower trade. It's a cycle. So the bridge doesn't get built, not because it can't be, but because the system is rigged to make it look too expensive to try. But here's the good news. There's nothing inherently stopping these regions from trading. It's not geography, it's not culture, it's inertia. And that can be changed.
And like I said, leaders, you're dealing with an enlightened population. You're dealing with a population who is not ignorant of their history and where they want to go. And because you're dealing with an audience now, an electorate that knows what they want, they can make demands. And you as leaders have got to humble yourself. Let me repeat that again, because this is the problem with our leaders. Our leaders feel that once they have been picked and nominated as leaders, they don't have to be humble. They have to be arrogant. They don't have to have a communication between them and the electorate. They now feel that they can dictate. Well, I'm telling you, this generation is not going to continue to embrace that. Hello, caller.
Hi, good morning, Prince.
Good day.
You just played a clip. I just tuned in.
Go ahead, yes.
I am familiar with the voice of that platform, young, dynamic, very educated lady who given our perspective on how we can bridge the Atlantic, the waters, and how to make linkages. I was at the airport 3 days ago. I think the airline is still on the ground. And there is a contingent, I think it's a cultural contingent from Nigeria that are here as we speak.
Yes.
And if that is an answer, let us use the present to trust forward into the future. Because I think our Prime Minister did travel to Nigeria recently. And that clip that you played there is timely because so much can be redound. So many benefits that we have from the cultural, economic, and other exchanges with the continent, the mother father continent, and the diaspora, the Caribbean and the Americas in general. So conversation should be have surrounding how we can best foster interlink trading, because everyone else have benefited except us in the diaspora from a rich, vast, dynamic, tapestry of everything you can count on. You can listen to the pundit.
Africa, there's another caller on the line. Do you want to engage that caller? Or do you want to finish your point and then hang up?
I'll pause here and here's the view. Get the view from the caller. If I can build on it, I'll pause and listen.
Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good day.
I think that we're putting the cat before the horse. We're trying to run before we walk in our engagements with Africa.
Yes.
You pointed out the fact that there are regional deficiencies in terms of our cooperation and our policies and so on.
Yes.
And I think that is where we should be looking first.
And I agree. I agree.
You see, you can't do both.
What I'm
saying.
That clip I played is more just to. It's more of a preemptive way of seeing where we want to be heading. But I agree with you. The emphasis, as the old saying goes, you can't build someone else's house. You have to build yours first. So I agree with you 100% on that. Go ahead.
Yes, and we can't do both, unfortunately, right? Doing things just for symbolism doesn't really get the job done. Okay, you just imagine. You pointed out the clip pointed out the existing trade links, right? If St. Kitts Nevis was supposed to develop a direct link with the ARC with West Africa, anywhere in West Africa, how sustainable would that be for we alone to do it? It would make absolutely no sense. Just think of the container ships that they have now. You think we can fill a container ship either way, just between St. Kitts and West African country?
That is why I said, and I'll reiterate, that we're looking forward, we're looking down the line, where these are things that we want to see. And I kind of disagree with you. I believe that we can do both. But I agree with you that we should place the greater emphasis on right here in the region. But while we're developing in the region, I think that we should be reaching out and putting plans, even if it is only on paper for now, that will be implemented over long term. Go ahead.
Well, the problem with putting plans on paper right now is that they stay there. If there's no real feasibility in carrying them out, okay, it will always boil down to economics. And so what I'm saying is, you create the markets, the arrangements regionally, so that a container ship or an aircraft don't have to just come to St. Kitts and turn around, because that, like I said, is not sustainable. What's more sustainable is island hopping between them and then going back to Africa, being filled and then going back to Africa.
I agree.
Right? And well, the thing is, again, right, do we really see that in what the leaders are doing right now? Nobody wants to make any bold steps. Everybody looks at internal politics. Nobody is really looking at you realize there's nobody really in the region who has a vision
for regional
or who
integration.
dares to have a vision for a closer, a really integrated Caribbean.
I agree. That is why I said our leaders need to be looking that way, and the electorate need to make those demands. Before you go on, Africa, will you want to chime back in?
Yes. Because now that Mr. McMahon concentrated on our regions, and rightly so, something came to mind, and it was something that I read from St. Lucia's opposition member, Alan Chastany. I think he was Prime Minister at one time in St. Lucia.
Yes.
And he said something pertaining towards the wider regions, CARICOM, as opposed to our integration in terms of the OECS, our commonality with the currency and the one space and the like. And he was very pessimistic in his perspective as to we have been at it for such a long time, and it doesn't seem like we're going. It's like one step forward, two steps backward in terms of the overall integration, so to speak. Considering the OECS, we are more in a unison formation. And so therein lies the problem. Because for all these years, if we cannot get it right, and we in the OECS, smaller territories.
Carla, let me interject. We've got about only 2 more minutes because we have another program. So try to be concise, and then I'll let Mr. McMahon also be concise.
Yes, but in a nutshell, if a politician, and I'm not going to broad brush the region because one politician said so, but at least if that is an indicator, we might as well do what we have to do in the OECS and do what we have to do here. Produce. So that, well, if a container comes our way from Africa, we should be able to send something their way from, I think it's a Nevis.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. What I would say is that we know that we have links, extensive links with North America, naturally. And we also know that our closest regions are really, well, north and south, not east and west. And if we let economics develop naturally, it will make much more sense, as I said, first integrating regionally and then exploring south with South America.
Yeah.
Right? And then we develop the kinds of markets and so on that we can then look towards Africa. And because right now it's more sentimental than economic, right? And even political, right? That's just a fact of life. We're more economically and politically integrated with North America. Not even all
Remember, I said to be brief, concise.
Yeah.
Have I?
All right.
The next person is sitting down next to me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I just leave it there and say that definitely we should be putting the horse before the cat.
Yes.
And run and walking before we run.
Okay.
That's the summary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for your input.
South 98.